Every day in Nigeria is one thing or the other. INEC is begging the court. Let me just read this out. INEC begs court to reject Atiku's request to submit Bola Tinubu's academic records. Hey. So this also happened at the Supreme Court. I mean, what is INEC's business in all of this? INEC is supposed to be an unbiased umpire that conducted election. In a sane country, honestly, if not the way things are just upside down in Nigeria, INEC is supposed to be the one on trial to come and show that it actually conducted free, fair, and credible election. This one that our electoral act is saying that the burden of proof is on the person who had been shortchanged, who is coming to the court. It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Is it not INEC that is supposed to be on trial to come and show that indeed it did conduct a free, fair, credible election, bring out its all results and everything? First of all, at the appeal court, INEC refused to listen to the courts and to the things to the is it ruling they normally call it, where the instruction that had been given to them to bring forth their results and all of that, practically sort of like as much as they could, they denied the respond no, not the respondent, the what do they call them? Is it no, appellants are now the ones at the Supreme Court right now. That was appeal court was the first this thing of hearing. So is it, oh gosh, I've forgotten the legal term for him. But they denied PDP, Labour Party, the things they were supposed to get. They frustrated them and all of that. And then now INEC is now coming and saying that the court should not. Let me just read this. On Monday, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, requested that the Supreme Court reject the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar's request to provide not my president, Bola Tinubu's academic credentials as he seeks the removal of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. To note, All Progressive Congress APC candidate Tinubu was proclaimed winner of the hotly disputed 2023 presidential election by INEC. The Presidential Election Petition Court, PEPC, also upheld his victory. However, Tinubu's victory is being contested in separate Supreme Court cases by Atiku and Peter Obi of the Labour Party. That's Atiku of the PDP and Peter Obi of the Labour Party. With new evidence gathered by Abubakar Atiku on Bola Tinubu's academic records, it was also confirmed that CSU didn't issue the certificate Bola Tinubu submitted to INEC. It is expected that Abubakar Atiku would want to inject this as he hopes to win over Bola Tinubu at the Supreme Court. The PDP candidate and Chris Uche's son, his principal attorney, urged the court to accept their motion and grant their request, describing the situation as critical and constitutionally problematic. San Uche argued that the issues involving Mr. Tinubu's certificate is a weighty, grave, and constitutional one, which the Supreme Court should admit. I urge the court to admit the fresh evidence of Tinubu's academic records from the CSU presented by Atiku. Abubakar Mahamood, the attorney for INEC, requested the Supreme Court reject Atiku's request to produce Tinubu's academic credentials. Wole Olanipekun San, Tinubu's lead attorney, asserted that INEC ought to have been a party to the deposition procedures in the US, noting that CSU depositions are inactive until the deponent appears in court and gives a testimony. Atiku cannot request new evidence before the Supreme Court, he informed the court. I don't have problem with Wole Olanipekun, the son to Tinubu, rejecting it. It's expected, it's normal. The one is the one of INEC. What is INEC's own is on in all of this business? INEC are not behaving like the independent the umpire that they're supposed to be the unbiased one. They're taking sides by all means, and this is just absolute nonsense. Hey, Ninja. I earlier watched a I watched one documentary, an NSAS documentary, and one of the things after watching it, I said to myself, look, too many people have died, you know, for us to ever think of giving up. Nah, 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 nah. On this issue, we focus on this Nigeria. We continue. We must get a nation by the grace of God where one day rule of law, accountability, transparency, good governance will be taken by for granted by Nigerian citizens. We will get there. They will be telling them of this past that we are experiencing right now, and they will think it's a story. They will say a story for the gods. Nothing like that ever happened. We will get there by the grace of God.